Hey guys, this is Mac with Venture Addicts, and if you haven't watched this before, we basically make our living owning a media company, and on the side we make YouTube videos of cool travel stuff, business, and everything in between. I wanted to make this super quick rant video because people on Instagram are constantly DMing us asking us how we travel all the time, saying things like we're lucky to travel all the time and they wish they could get paid to travel all the time too. First of all, I do want to take the initial blame for that because we do post a lot of photos and videos of us traveling and the cool stuff that our work allows us to do, which kind of gives the facade that we get paid to actually post those travel videos and photos. So because of those messages that we constantly receive, I do want to set a few things straight about us and the travel vloggers that you see on Instagram and YouTube that I don't think a lot of people, especially the younger generation, understand. What most of these guys and girls do to make their living while they're traveling and posting photos usually has nothing to do with traveling, posting videos and photos. A lot of the really talented videographers you see and photographers are usually getting paid by clients in the places that they go. I'll go deeper with some of the ways you can travel and make money with your videos and photos in a later video, but the short takeaway from this rant, most of these people that you see, there's a deep back-end business plan from years of hard work and networking that allows them to travel to these places, and it usually has nothing to do with the actual travel. It has more to do with the client relationships that they have that affords them the ability to go to these places. And like I said, it comes from years of perfecting their craft and being able to convince people to pay them for their art. I'll use the example of Sam Kolder. He's one of my personal favorite travel vloggers. He's super talented in his video and photo. He's amazingly creative. He started editing at 12 or something like that, like some crazy young age, put years of work into it, and eventually made a few connections and got the opportunity to tour with the Chainsmokers. He toured the world with them and got paid to produce, film, edit every single piece of content, or most of, if not all, pieces of content that they made along the tour. Now, from the outside looking in, I'm sure any fan of Sam's has seen one or two of those Chainsmoker videos that he's produced, but imagine the back-end editing of every single piece of content that they produced. Every show, shooting, running around, editing, the sleepless nights, the interviews, the photos. Imagine every single piece of work that went into working for those clients. Now, you may have seen one or two of the cool, fun videos and thought, wow, that's a super cinematic piece of art. But I know you're not thinking of the 2 a.m. edit sessions that needs to be given to the production team the next day for distribution. Later on in his career, he hooked up with the company Beautiful Destinations, as I'm sure a lot of you have heard of. What they do specifically is produce commercials for resorts, travel bureaus, and they also control advertising campaigns through social media and a few other outlets. Not the sexiest thing in the world on the back end. Now, Sam probably shot, edited a lot of those unsexy commercials that you're never going to get the chance to see because they're never going to make it to social because they're not the sexy pieces of art that you want to see on Instagram. The point of that is shooting those commercials for Sam afforded him the ability to go to those amazing places and shoot those pictures and videos that you actually like seeing on social media and actually make you say to yourself, man, he's so lucky. I wish I could get paid to handstand next to the Eiffel Tower. I personally had the pleasure to meet Valdez. I'm sure he'll be tagged somewhere above me. He was coming to Houston. I saw in his story that he was coming to Houston. I shot him a DM on the off chance that he might need somebody to help him film. Whatever. I didn't care what it was. He said yes. I said where? He said somewhere downtown. I went, I met up with him, and I actually realized he was shooting for a brand called Tone It Up. And talking to him a little bit more about it, I found out there was this whole back-end hustle networking that went into him diving deep into their organization and getting to travel the world with them or travel the country or wherever they were going and shooting and editing every single piece of content that they're producing as a brand. Now, if you've never heard of Tone It Up, they do these shows where it's intense yoga. There's thousands of women that go to these shows. I'm sure you've heard of it if you're a girl watching this video. They do an amazing job. But my point is that you don't get to see the shows that they do by Valdez. He does that as his main source of income. He hustles. He works hard. He has those endless nights of editing with deadlines, with everything that you don't get to see on Instagram. But when he goes to these amazing places with them, I'm sure he gets a little bit of time to take some personal videos, personal photos, the good stuff that you like to see that's really entertaining for Instagram. To kind of round things up and apply that to us, every single time you see us posting a photo on a peak of a mountain or watching the sunset in California, there is always some client work that's being done in the area, usually not too far from where we're taking those personal photos for Instagram. Maybe it's a concert, a commercial, a promotional event, etc. Something of that nature. All of the unsexy stuff that gets you paid. But honestly, that part's fun for us too. We love business more than anything in the world, and we wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. So I don't want the business aspect to scare you away. The point of this video is that I want you to realize that getting paid for your art is something that's fun and allows you to see the amazing places that you admire so much on Instagram. It's not that these artists get paid to actually post on Instagram and they're just traveling the world on an unlimited budget. They're hustling hard. They're making those connections. They're selling their art to people in a way that lets them see the world. And nothing is more fulfilling than getting paid for your art. My point in this video is to kind of explain how these guys and girls work harder to make their passion their job more than anything you could ever imagine. And more often than not, they're doing something that requires an insane amount of work for their main source of revenue. Maybe it's that corporate event or that boring commercial that you have to shoot. But ultimately, what that's going to get you is the money and the time to go shoot that cinematic personal stuff that's beautiful for social media that us creators enjoy shooting so much. Anyways, guys, end rant. Follow us on Instagram at Venture Addicts. And as always, shoot us a DM. We will answer every single thing. See you later.